We're here on the old Hubert and Frances Cawthron farm, owned by his grandchildren now, setting the new stone for Cordelia Hall. Her original stone is right here, right close to the road. I think that's where it was originally. We moved it back a little. I'm going to move it back just a little bit further. What we did is got a new headstone granite. It's 10 by 14 by 2 inches thick, weighed about 30 pounds. And I moved it to where probably closer to the foot of her grave and set that in concrete. Just going to wait for that to set up a couple hours, come back and take the form off and then clean up this. Now I'm going to set her original stone right above it in concrete as well so it doesn't go. This stone by the shovel here was right where the foot of her grave would be. Now whether that was the next grave down, it was located right below this, or not, I'm going to put it back right there underground so you could drive over it. And this is right next to Route 15. Carl Cochran had told me that the original rake was right in this area, old horse-drawn rake, hay rake. I searched all this area, then we searched all this area, we searched all the way up there, nothing. He was very close to being correct. Instead of above this road leads down into that lower field that they own. Those stones are right on the edge of it. Like you could see a couple right here that we believe were probably headstones. There's one right here too. Right here. They're just scattered, I don't know. And of course there's that, this one looks more like a cut stone here. So we're going to bury these back in the ground a little bit, the other ones, so they don't have any problems with it. Finished up here for the day. I'm going to come back, put some topsoil around Cordelia's grave, but I just want to show you the number of graves. We lifted every one of these stones up. That's either a footstone or a headstone, or, you know, that's the headstone right there. Might just be one grave. Here's another one. I didn't find a footstone on this. And of course here was Cordelia's. Now this we thought was the footstone. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe that's a marker for another grave that was below hers. Where we put her new marker would be like at the foot of her grave. That is her old marker with the old carvings on. You can't see it now. With all the mud on it. And where I have the shovel would have been where it was laying, the high point. You can see it was close to the road there. That's why I got run over and broke. Here's another one. Right here is, again, either the headstone or a footstone to it. So you see, it looks like there's 4 right in a row or as many as 7. And there's probably more in here. There might even be some right up on the road. Because if you look at where these 3 are lined up, you could tell where Cordelia's was a little bit higher up. We just moved it back so it wouldn't get any more damage on it. Yeah, got too much mud on it. Right here is where Hall is, H-A-L-L. This is the McDonald Carpenter Cemetery in Guardian. His name's spelled Mac-D. Like MacDonald on his gravestone, but all the official records has him McDonald, M-C-D-O-N-L-I-D, one word. Let's see, his wife Elizabeth Susan Alberts died in 28. I think she was the second person to be buried here. Most recent is Shelby Jean Sears, 36 to 23, just died a few weeks ago. She's a daughter of Noah and Ollie Clifton. The only way to get up here is either a 4-wheel drive or a ATV. Now, this land used to be owned by the Schrader family. In fact, it was owned by Anna Schrader here, who died in 1894. She would have been the first person buried here. Her son was the third John from 1855 to 1932. John Schrader, by the way, is a brother to James Wesley Schrader, who married Sarah Carpenter, McDonald's sister, youngest sister. So we just got done setting that stone for Cadillo Hall down there at the Hubert and Frances Cawthorn old farm. And yesterday I set these two little markers up here, small markers. Homer Robinson and his wife Matilda. Matilda was a carpenter, as you can see, daughter of McDonald. And when I was up here, I noticed this depression next to Homer's grave, but no marker. There was a field stone at Homer's grave, so I started to move it over here just to mark this depression because I was pretty sure this was a grave. And sure enough, as I dug about 6 inches under, there's the old cemetery marker, or the marker you get from the funeral home for James Robinson, 1924 to 75, who's Homer and Matilda's son. Now I knew from the book I'm working on about the Carpenter family that he was buried up here, but since there was no marker, I didn't know this. Even when I did another book back in 2001 listing everyone in the cemetery, I didn't list him because that marker was 6 inches under. I don't know if there's any others up here. They could be here. It seems to be the only other one that was unmarked, marked now. These little markers were $35 a piece. It's about 1/2 inch black granite, etched stone. There's a few others that could use markers up here. Everyone up here is, except for those Schraders, I believe, is a descendant of McDonald and Susan Carpenter.